Checks complete. We're ready.
Hello and welcome to the stream. Congrats, you're the first viewer, whoever you are. I'm gonna check chat to see who that is. Hello, Gadbury. Oh yeah, that happened last episode, near the end. I went to Ferrari because I wanted to keep up the consistency of changing teams every mid-season and end of season. So I decided to do that. Probably wasn't the best idea because I've kind of got Leclerc kicked out of F1 completely. Latifi's back in Williams, back to F1, and Norris has replaced us at Red Bull. So Leclerc's out of F1, so I kind of regret my actions. I've done this last season as well with Norris, but that wasn't on stream. But I'm sure that Leclerc will be back at the end of the season, hopefully. I don't want Latifi or Mazepin being in anymore, any longer. Yeah, worst mistake of my life. I went to Ferrari. Wanted to try and get the driver market going a bit more, but it turns out that we've actually got, obviously, Latifi back in the Williams, which is his usual team, so it hasn't really spiced it up too much, except for Norris and Ricciardo becoming teammates at Red Bull. So we've got to try and get used to this Ferrari power unit now. We've never driven it before, just like we didn't with the Honda in the Red Bull at the start of the season. But I'm sure we'll get used to it as soon as there's a bit of traffic on our lap. That's Lance Stroll in the AlphaTauri. But we've also got to try and get used to the handling of the car again, as it's got less downforce than what the Red Bull had. Stroll moves out our way just about on our first flying lap. Ocon's the first one to set the pace in that Williams. Ooh, getting on the AstroTurf a little bit, causing us to nearly spin it. Wouldn't look good. Guan Yu Zhou now goes fastest. Of course, we've moved to Ferrari at probably one of the best tracks to do so, because Ferrari aren't that good in a straight line compared to the rest of the cars. So we don't lose too much time, and we're actually 7/10 off Russell. Gasly's gone ahead of us. I am going to go again though, since I feel like I can improve. Not if I do that though. Jesus Christ, that's a big crash, and that's nearly a crash with Gasly. We're kind of up in the air. Oh, and there was a crash. Someone crashed into us, so the AI being silly as always. Oh yeah, we'll try that again. Of course, trying to get used to the traction zones. Verstappen goes a 1:11.5, so he's literally a second and a half ahead of us, our championship rival for this season. But yeah, the tyres are a bit too hot. We get underbody damage because we went on that curb, and we back off our lap.
Some damage. I suggest we box so we can check it out.
Oh, And there's Ricardo. Last time's race winner at Silverstone and pole sitter. Sainz has gone P3, so the pace is there in the Ferrari. We just need to try and find it somewhere.
Pitting this lap then.
Of course, it's good me saying that there's pace there, but obviously not showing it as we're 2 positions down from our teammate. Now 3 as Stroll goes P5. But it'll be interesting to see Norris's pace in that Red Bull. Of course, he's had a very good start to the season in Williams, just unlucky with the failures in that car, unreliability. So yeah, it'll be good to see where he is in that Red Bull, whether he can outperform Ricciardo and Verstappen even, and continue Red Bull's fight for the constructors against Mercedes. But we will see, as he is currently on his out lap. We go to Giovinazzi though, as he's going to be the next one to set a lap.
Spend time repairing the damage to the car.
Of course, it won't be one of the big hitters, Giovinazzi, but we'll see where he goes anyway. He goes P11, so ahead of his teammate Jack Aitken. Ricciardo's going to be the next one to cross the line. He goes round the final corner then. And across the line, it's third. So it's not quite first, like he was in every session in Silverstone. But he is still up there. Such a different track. Hamilton goes P9. Schumacher's going to be the next one in that very bad Haas. But he manages P15. 1 second, exactly 1 second, ahead of his teammate, Nikita Mazepin. So maybe you should get Mazepin out of F1 and Leclerc back in game, please. Tsunoda goes 6th. Next one is going to be Norris. He goes round the final corner then. Let's see where his pace is at in that Red Bull. He goes across the line and it's second. He's behind Verstappen, but it's still P2. And he's at the moment out-qualified his teammate, Daniel Ricciardo. Next across the line is Alonso. He goes P8. Knocks us down to P11. Bottas is going to be the last one to cross the line and set a lap time. As he goes round the final corner now in that Mercedes. Can he match his teammate or even go ahead of Norris? And he can't. He goes P3. So Norris is looking to be the one to challenge Verstappen, even though he's nearly, well, he is 4.5 tenths off the man currently in first. But yeah, a few cars separating me and Sainz now. Of course, we're new to the team, so we have to get used to the power unit and the traction and stuff. So I think that we'll go out on track again, just to be safe. So oh, Verstappen's gone back out on track. I don't see why, unless the track evolution is that much. Latifi's up in 14th on his return to F1. Not as high as Leclerc would be. But Ocon is going to be the next one to set a lap. He's just started it, and he goes to turn 3 now. He hasn't had a very good season in that Williams. He's been on the verge of scoring points, but towards the mid-season, he was just not putting in the results. He was a lap down at Austria, and yeah, since, well, Britain as well, he was quite far back compared to Norris. But round the final corner goes Ocon then. Across the line, goes 14th, ahead of his teammate, his returning teammate, Nicholas Latifi. Now it's Max Verstappen. He's first anyway, so I don't see why he's gone out. He's already 4.5 tenths of Norris, but I guess he just wants to prove that he has got pace in that Mercedes, and he goes a few hundredths quicker than he was before. So not by much. It wasn't a necessary run for him.
All complete. Mechanics, please stand clear.
Maybe
We're
just
ready to
wanted
go.
a bit of track time. We're going to go back out then, as it's nearly the death of Q1. Yeah, down here in P12, not very safe at all. So a big improvement would be necessary for us. Warm up the engine, Kieran. Oh my god. I still need to get into the habit of that, because I've done it all of the F1 2021 game cycle, and now I've realised that it's not good having such a cold engine or going round in lean mixture, and you need a good temperature in your engine to get a good lap in and get the corner exits right. We need it about 100 degrees, which is not far off from where we are now. So anyway, around the second to last corner then. And around the final corner we go. And we're going to start our lap then. Everyone's gone out on the track except for Verstappen. So yeah, everyone feeling that they're not safe, which is not good for us, as we won't have as much to improve on, if you get what I mean. The other drivers will be improving as well, so we've got to make this a super lap for us to even have a chance of getting through into Q2 in our first race for Ferrari. But we've got a bit of traffic ahead. It's an Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi. Hopefully he moves out the way. We take a weird line through there, loses a bit of time. Oh, we nearly lose the back end, nearly into that barrier. Giovinazzi moves out the way, thank the Lord. But not very much. We're going to try and go again after this lap. Whether we can find any improvement is beyond me. We're going to go across the DRS, open it, and we go across the line and we're P9, so we're still behind our teammate. But we're going to go again anyway to see if we can improve. I know that we can improve through Sector 2 because of that spin that we nearly had, just. And of course the weird line that we took in the middle of the wavy section. Whoops, that's a bit of track limits. Welcome to the stream everyone, by the way. Nice of you to join. There's my doggy scratching my door now. What do you want? Oh, you're gonna sit in my place, are we? Go on, move, please. Oh God, right. Yep, just push me out the way. Oh yeah, here I feel we can get a bit more improvement. which we can't actually. We're 5 tenths down. We're not even going to gain that through this section where we messed up. Yeah, we only gained like literally a tenth. So we're going to continue on to the line anyway. But we haven't been knocked down any positions at the moment. I don't think that we did anyway. So we're through into Q2. Now first race for Ferrari, which isn't bad whatsoever. And we're in the top 10 as well, crucially, which could mean a lot for Q3. But there's your Q1 grid. Oh, look who's been knocked out. So it's Mercedes, then Red Bull, then McLaren, Ferrari, AlphaTauri, Ferrari, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Alpine. Then the Aston Martin, Williams, Aston Martin. Then the Williams knocked out is Latifi on his return. So that would usually be Esteban Ocon compared to Norris. But on Latifi's return, kicking Leclerc out of F1. He is knocked out in P16. I'll check chat. Yes, Hungary. This is round number... I don't know what. Oh, round 9. Round 9. This is. So we're going to stay in the garage until the end of quali and go out on the softs and not make our Austria mistake and go out on the mediums at the end. But Ricciardo's going to be the first one to go on a lap. Of course, as mentioned, he got pole position in Silverstone last time when he was our teammate in the Red Bull, and he won the race as well. So our 5th different race winner, along with Verstappen, Russell, Bottas, ourselves, and then yeah, Ricciardo. But round the final corner he goes anyway, and he crosses the line. It's a 1:11.9, which of course puts him first. This is the first one to cross the line. Next one is going to be Zhou. He goes round the final corner, and across the line he goes. He's actually using number 24, which is very odd. His number in real life, of course. Usually it gives them a random number, but I don't know, maybe that's the thing now. Hamilton displaces him though and goes second by 5 tenths over his teammate. Next is Perez in the Alpine. He goes second, so he's displaced Hamilton. Next is going to be Gasly. He's probably going to displace Perez as well. And yeah, there he goes, second place. 5 tenths off Ricciardo. So not a bad lap from Gasly. Next is going to be his teammate Stroll. We'll see if he can match his teammate. Of course, he's outperformed him, I'd say. He's outperformed Gasly anyway this season. But not in qualifying. He goes third. And yeah, proves my point. He's literally 5 tenths off his teammate. Next is going to be Tsunoda in the McLaren. He goes across the line then, and it's P2. He's 4 tenths off Ricciardo. Next is going to be Sainz, our new teammate, for the next half of this season. He goes across the line then, and it's second, so he's up in P2. He's ahead of Tsunoda, which is crucial for us. Russell also is going to be the next one, Tsunoda's teammate, and he goes P2 now. Next will be Alonso. Around the final corner he goes. Can he match his teammate like he's been doing all season? He goes P8, which is literally right behind his teammate Perez. So matches him once again. Norris on the mediums then. This is the first of the medium compound that we've seen in Q2. So very confident in his first race for Red Bull. To go on to that alternate strategy and try and get through into Q3 on the mediums. But he goes across the line then, and he goes P7 ahead of the two Alpines. I wouldn't say that's necessarily safe, as you've still got the likes of Bottas and Verstappen and ourselves, if we put in a good lap. But Bottas is also on the mediums then, and I'm guessing that Verstappen will be too. It would surprise me if he's not. But Bottas then, around the final corner. Crosses the line, and it's P11. So he's gone way slower than Norris. On the same compound of tyre, Ocon goes 13th, which is the slowest of all of our drivers so far. Here goes Verstappen then. Where can he put his Mercedes? Is it going to be like Bottas? No, he goes P6. Goes ahead of Lando Norris by 2 positions. But Bottas then in the knockout zone so far. The only one of the big 3 teams, I'd say, in the knockout zone. But Norris isn't far off too, so he's going to have to go back out on the soft compound of tyre, I should imagine. But yeah, fast forward into the end of Q2 now, as we're going to go out on track. Our only lap of Q2, so hopefully we make it a good one. Leave that in standard so our engine can heat up a little bit. But all the other cars now come flooding out the pits. It's gone a bit overcast now. There's no rain forecast for qualifying, so just cooler track temperatures, which is usually, it suits us better as we get a lot less understeer from warm tyres. Yeah, just about getting our car up to the optimal temperature on the engine side anyway. But we're going to start our lap then as we get around the final corner. Let's make it a good one. Looking like a good one so far. It's a purple sector too, so we've really done well throughout this lap. A bit wide though on the apex of the second last corner. Now into the final one we go. We open DRS, and what's it going to be? It's P6. We're ahead of Verstappen, of course, and Norris and Bottas, but they are improving on the soft tyres as they done original laps on the mediums. So we could be knocked out as Bottas now goes fastest. We're dropped down to P7. I'm expecting that to drop further. Stroll goes P8, so he doesn't displace us, luckily. As Norris now goes quickest, ahead of Bottas. Verstappen has gone up there as well. We're down to P9 now. But I don't think that any more cars have to cross the line. So we are through. Just about. Whoa, and that was very nearly a crash. As all the AI come flooding through. No wonder if they haven't got a good lap in. They're all very close together. So I'm not surprised that they haven't got good laps in. Oh wait, so weather forecast has changed then. We're not far away from some rain, so it could be a wet Q3, which wouldn't be expected for any of us, as it was meant to stay dry from the official forecast that we got at the start of this weekend. So a bit of surprise, and it could maybe help us get further up the grid. I do like the wet weather, especially intermediates. So it could help us. Oh, and there's the rain. The rain's already started. So if this carries on through into Q3, we're looking at a wet Q3. But of course, conditions can change between the sessions, as it's basically, it skips the time that it takes between those sessions that it does in real life, if that makes sense. So we could be looking at a wet Q3, but we don't know for certain. I'm going to retire from session so we can quickly get into the next session. But yeah, then the knockouts are... Oh, we've got 5-place grid penalties going on down the grid, actually. So Norris is fastest by 0.060. Very close. Sonoda's got 5 places. I'm guessing that's illegal blocking. The knockouts are Perez, Alonso, both once more together. Hamilton in the Aston Martin. Ocon, who's got a 5-place grid penalty. And the other Aston Martin of Guan Yu Zhou. So it's a 5-team shootout for pole position. Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari and AlphaTauri, which is pretty accurate actually from the R&D. But now is the crucial time to find out if we've got a wet Q3 or if it's going to be dry. So it still says it's dry, which is very odd, but the chance of rain increases as the session goes on. So we're going to get out there quickly. We've only got this one set of tyres to do a lap on. So we're going to get out there as early as possible as the chance of rain increases. Of course, it says that it's dry, but there could be spots of rain like there was at the end of Q2, which there is. So this track's only going to get wetter. So it's a good job that we've gone out as early as we have. Not as early as the Red Bull and the McLaren. But that rain looking very bad. But it's just not going to get bad enough for the intermediates in this session. But it's going to be a slippery ride around the lap of Hungary in these conditions. Of course, slick tyres never go well with rain. We don't want to be too close to Tsunoda, but we do want to get on with our lap at the same time. Warming up the tyres as well. I don't usually do this. I usually take care of the tyres. But it is necessary, as they're just going to get cooled down very quickly otherwise because of the weather. But we have to back off anyway because of Tsunoda being so close to us ahead. As we go around the final corner now, taking a wide line in and cut back in to get the best exit possible. DRS is still enabled, so we're going to go for the lap with the DRS. There's actually a lot more grip than I thought there was, so I broke quite early into turn 1. Nearly losing the back end through turn 4. Oh, and we are on the grass, and we're in the barrier. Flashback time. There is actually spots on the ground though, so we could go to intermediate conditions, but of course once everyone's set their lap on the slicks, they're not going to go back out on the intermediates, as they will not get an improved lap time. But the later that people have left it to go back out on track, or to go out on track in the first place, the worse their lap time is going to be, unless you've got a very quick car like Mercedes and Red Bull. As Ricciardo's the first Red Bull to set a lap, so he's on provisional pole. He could get a second pole in a row here. As we go across the line, it's P2. We're only 2/10 off Ricciardo, so I think we're going to go for it again, even though the track conditions are probably worse at the moment than there was when we first started our lap. We're going to flashback because I could do way better turn 1 than that, I'll admit. I know it's not fair, but we have to deal with things that aren't fair for some, because it's life. But yeah, not getting good exits because of the wet track. But this could definitely shake up the grid for the race. Oh, and we nearly lose it into the barriers, and there's just no improving. There is a clear patch in about 10 more minutes. Norris has gone 4th, so even the quick drivers and the quick cars are really struggling. Verstappen's gone behind us, which is absolutely crucial for us. We're still on the front row with Ricciardo. But yeah, we maybe could go to dry, but we haven't got another set of tyres to go for a lap anyway. We'd have to use the same tyres if we go again. But this is most likely going to be your grid for the Hungarian race. This rain wasn't forecast at all when I started qualifying, by the way. So we're going to, once we get in the garage, we are going to fast forward to the end of quali to see if anyone goes out. If they do, then I might consider going back out and trying to get a good lap, as that means that the track conditions are still good enough for a lap. We're also going to look at the timings to see where everyone is. So our teammate is the slowest. He got the worst of the track. Russell's down there in 8th. Bottas is behind Norris in 6th. So we're only about 2/10 off Ricciardo, but Verstappen is about 400th behind us. So we'll see at the end of the session whether anyone goes back out there. I doubt that they will, as the chance of rain still is going to be... don't even know what I'm saying. So no one's gone back out on track. We're officially P2 in our first race for Ferrari. So a great qualifying. And we're alongside our former teammate for the first half of the season, Daniel Ricciardo. And we've out-qualified our Max Verstappen. So yeah, on to the race we go. And an unexpected good qualifying to give us that great start. I have already been to Red Bull at the first half of this season. Hi Skippy, welcome to the stream. And welcome to anyone else as well who hasn't commented. Hopefully you're enjoying this content. We're on our 10th stream of career mode. So we started this streaming in USA for season 2, which was about 3 rounds before the end of that season, I think.
Well done.
And now we're literally past the mid-season point of season 3 of this career mode. So there's your R&D graph anyway. Our expectations for qualifying were quite low, I must admit. But that weather being very kind to us. And of course, our thoughts of going out on track quite early. Yeah, we're hoping to get that power upgrade in, as we're not very good in the powertrain. Even though we've got a lot of it upgraded actually. We're still not the best. We're really far off it actually. We can upgrade this in time for the Italian Grand Prix, which would be amazing. Because of course Ferrari's home race. We want to do well there. We've got all of the upgrades for the powertrain except for the 2 locked ones. Oh, and this turbo pressure up here. The chassis, well, let's see where we are on there. We're 3rd best, so still not bad there. In the aero, we're 4th best, quite far off Red Bull, McLaren and Mercedes. And in the reliability, well, we're just behind Red Bull, so not too far off. But we're going to get into the race anyway, stop the faffing about and the waffling. And we'll see what we can do from P2 for our first race in Ferrari.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Daniel Ricciardo has a clear view ahead from pole position, and Edwards completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Valtteri Bottas, and Gasly, Russell, Stroll, Tsunoda. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Carlos Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton and Joe, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Jack Aitken and Mick Schumacher, Ocon and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So then, let's see what our strategy is going to be. It's looking like a 1-stop onto hards, but if you've watched my video about a league race that I done around Hungary last Saturday, then you'll know that I actually managed to do a 1-stop onto mediums. So I am going to try that. It won't let me change it to mediums for some reason, so we'll just obviously change that throughout the race. Of course, we had a safety car though in that league race, so that might have helped us get to the end, and it was very close anyway. With the upgraded cars, of course, the tyre wear is a lot less than what it would be. We're going to underfuel as our power unit looks quite good. So we're going to get into the race then, and hopefully get a good start. It's a very long wait for the lights to go out, but they do eventually go out. And Norris already jumps for Verstappen. What a start from Norris. The 2 Red Bulls are 1 and 2 going into turn 1. Is anyone going to send it down the inside? We are on Norris. But Verstappen was thinking about it in the background. Gasly's also got past Verstappen, as well as Stroll's getting past Bottas as well. Not a great start from the two Mercedes, losing positions off the start, but we've maintained our position. Norris is up one, and Ricciardo has managed to keep his P1 at the moment. But we are going to try and stay with him. Of course, when the DRS gets enabled, that's going to help us stay with him. But of course, we need to be in that second in order to do that, to get the DRS. But yeah, not a hectic lap one like it has been for the past two races. Of course, Austria, there was that pile up into turn 1. And Silverstone, that was actually into turn 3. Sainz and Gasly both crashed out, but they're quite far away from each other on the grid now, so they don't have to worry about DNFing with one another. But no safety car on lap 1 for the first time in a few races. It's Ricciardo that leads over us, then Norris, Gasly and Verstappen. Bottas managed to get back through on Stroll, and he's up into P6. Stroll is P7. That's the McLaren. The two McLarens in P8 and P9, and Carlos Sainz still in P10 off the start. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a standstill race, I'm not going to lie, since Hungary is also classed as Monaco without the barriers. But we're going to do our best to try and give you some entertainment around this track. But the soft's already feeling a bit understeery, so maybe something to look out for with the tyre wear, as they're very hot on the left hand side. I should have maybe decreased the pressure on that left hand side for the tyres. Verstappen, I thought that Verstappen and Gasly were both going side by side, but it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. On the mini-map. Now we've got to try and keep Norris behind, since Ricciardo's pulling away. He's pulled out of a second of us, which is not what we wanted. And bad news as well on the fuel side. Our fuel is not going up. It's actually still decreasing, and we've underfueled by about a lap. So that's going to take some massive fuel saving to get that back up into the positives. We'll probably need a safety car to do so. But yeah, struggling through the right hand corners with that tyre wear, well, tyre warmer on the left hand side. Of course, different cars have different tyre warm-ups, the Ferrari obviously being one of the worst ones for it, as you can see. But not good, as that last corner is a right hand, and Norris goes zooming past us because he gets the better exit. We're going to try and hang it round the outside, but it is another right hand corner. We managed to do so actually, and we get the traction out of the corner, but Norris has got the DRS once more. Gasly and Verstappen behind are also battling. We're going side by side with Norris into turn 2. Now through turn 3, a very awkward corner to do side by side, and we're still ahead of Norris. Verstappen gets a move done on Gasly, and he's up into P4. Now it's Bottas who's going to be looking for the move on Gasly and follow his teammate through up into P5. Yeah, still really struggling. I maybe want to go onto the hard tyres, as of course they are the less grippy compound, which means that they don't warm up as much. But Verstappen catching at a rate of knots because of how slow we're going with his tyre warm up. Yeah, taking it very slowly through the last corner. But we're still ahead of Norris. He seems to have lost pace. The last time that this happened, and I noticed a driver losing pace, was in Austria with Russell. And he ended up having an engine failure. Need to cough, sorry guys. Back. But if that was to happen to Norris, he would be the first Red Bull DNF or Honda DNF from a power unit issue this whole season. Which would be very interesting. We don't look at the new strategy as we don't get enough time to. If he'd have asked us down the straight, then maybe I would have been able to look at it. But Ricciardo's leading now by 3 seconds. Just over 3 seconds now. Well, we're losing the back end a lot there. We've got underbody damage. Flashback time. And now he asks us for that new strategy, so we get a second chance at it now. I am not going 2 laps longer. Never mind. Yeah, I was going to say I'm not going 1 lap longer. Never mind 2 laps longer on these soft tyres, as they are absolutely horrendous. I want to get off these tyres as quick as I can. We might go for the undercut on lap 7 and see if we can do anything with that. But I don't think we will. I think that we just need to hold track position. As I mentioned, Hungary is Monaco without the barriers. Very difficult to overtake, so as long as we do a good defending job, then we should be okay. And we won't need to go for any undercut unless they do, of course. Then we'll try and go into the pits as well. Ricciardo will get the first call out of the 2 Red Bulls, so we'll follow him in if he comes in early. But yeah, Norris with the DRS once more. Down this straight, he's going to go to the inside. We're going to push him over to the right hand side. Brake later. Well, not as late as Norris did, of course, but Norris seems to have got the position. He goes a little bit defensive down towards turn 2 as we try and hang it round the outside, but he does an Alonso to us, really. We're going to try and stick it round the outside still, even with our tyre wear and warm-up. We're still side by side now, going up to turn 4, a very awkward corner to go side by side, but we've managed to do it, and we've managed to stay ahead of Lando Norris in that very quick Red Bull. But we've lost about a second to Ricciardo, so not ideal to be battling too much. But I don't know where I found that grip from to try and go back around the outside of Norris, as he was absolutely squeezing us to the grass. I don't know how I managed to do it, but we did, so we carry on with our race. He's probably going to go for it again on this lap. As Ricciardo's in, so we're going to come in. We're going to follow him in. And he's also onto the hard tyres. We have a nice pit stop. It's quite slow actually, 2.9 seconds. We just about get out ahead of the AlphaTauri. We don't get held up, luckily. But we're out in P14 now, ahead of Verstappen still. Russell has switched to the medium tyres, which is very interesting. He's going for the 2-stop. He's committed himself quite early. And both McLaren seems to have came in. unless one of the McLarens came in the lap before, and they're both going on the 2-stop. They've both committed themselves to the 2-stop. We're trying to go for the 1-stop. Of course, on these hard tyres, we're going to have less grip, but we're also going to have better tyres, as they won't warm up as quickly as the soft tyres did. I'm losing my voice here, but I'm fine. Because we've got to really push to try and make this undercut work on Norris. And of course Gasly. Don't want to lose too much time, as they are in the pits, Norris and Bottas. And where are they going to be in relation to us? Norris is just coming out the pits. He's jumped us. He's made the overcut work, and he is ahead. Unfortunately for us, it's basically a Red Bull 1 and 2. But Norris still has to get up to speed on those hard tyres. We've done already a lap on them, so we could maybe do something about it. And also there's traffic ahead, which could help us even more to get past Norris. Aitken in the Alfa Romeo. Because we don't really want Verstappen behind us. You saw how quickly he got past Gasly, and how aggressive he was, and Bottas was still struggling. Sainz is now in the pits, 2 laps later than us. Aitken's doing wonders, holding up Norris quite a lot, and we managed to stick with Norris a little bit more than we probably would have if Aitken wasn't there. But he's got the DRS, which is going to mean that he's going to be fast down the straight. He goes to the left hand side of Aitken, who did defend it, and Norris is through. We're going to send it on Aitken. He turns in though. It was quite a late send from us, to be quite honest, and that loses us a bit more time. We're going to go round the outside. It's a lot easier than what we did on Norris, but we've made it work, and now we've got to try and stay with Lando if we want any chance at getting P2. Verstappen's managed to get through on Aitken on the run up to turn 4, which is very, very, I don't know what I was going to say, but we'll just leave it as very, very. I'll just say amazing, actually. But Verstappen is within that 1 second of us. My dog is kicking my back so much. He's like having a twitch in his dream. Something. So he's kicking me and it's really putting me off. We've got the DRS on Lando though, which is very crucial for us. As side by side is Ocon and Ricciardo into turn 1. Of course, Ricciardo on the fresher tyres and in the faster car, but he gets through on Ocon, who started on those mediums. We nearly lose the back end through turn 3. But it's a personal best sector 1, so that shows that we have got more pace on these hard tyres than we did on the softs. So traffic could help us out once more here with Norris. We've caught them at a very, very bad time, for Norris's case anyway, but not for ours, as we may have a chance of getting past Norris or even getting closer before the DRS straight. The only bad thing about this is that Norris is going to have DRS, and you saw how quick he powered down that straight when he got past Jack Aitken. If we catch the curve there, we nearly slide into the corner, but we're a lot closer to Norris, as he's getting held up by his former teammate Esteban Ocon in the Williams. Ocon's got no DRS, I don't think, but he's managing to stay ahead of Norris. Meanwhile, Ricciardo's going for the move on Giovinazzi and gets through on the inside like he did on Ocon. Sorry about that. I'm back. But our fuel is still minus 0.9, so we really need a safety car to try and save that off. This is crucial now that Norris didn't get past Ocon down that straight. So we've got another chance at maybe getting through on Norris. A move that the AI probably wouldn't go for. We go down the inside of Norris now into the chicane. It's very tight as he squeezes us to the inside. But we've managed to get the move done on Lando. And we're up into P9, which is net P2.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
But somehow avoiding all contact there with Norris's car. So we both come away with that scot-free. And we've got the DRS, of course, off Ocon to help us maintain this position.
We're leading our teammate by 5.7 seconds.
So of course Ocon's also doing the same from Giovinazzi's car. He's got the DRS off the Alfa Romeo. We get a better exit than Ocon though. We're going to go for it on the run up to turn 4. We go to the outside. He squeezes us onto the curb, which forces us wide. We give him back the position as we went off track to make that positional. But we get back through on the inside anyway. He's going to come back at us on the outside. Into the chicane we go once more, side by side with another car. But we finally get past Ocon. And we've put our car in between ourselves and Norris. Which is very good news for us. We want to do that as much as possible. And we're also catching up to Ricciardo as he's getting held up by Latifi on Latifi's return to Formula 1 with Williams. As we get the DRS off Giovinazzi now, we're using ERS and the slipstream from his car. We're going to absolutely send it down the inside, late brake move, but we managed to get it slowed down in time for the corner. We get the DRS, and that's a move made up into P7, and we put another car in between ourselves and Norris, who's battling with his former teammate Esteban Ocon, trying to get through. He's managed to do so, and he puts the car in between himself and Verstappen, which is what he wants to do. But look who's ahead of us. It's Daniel Ricciardo, still not past Nicholas Latifi in that Williams. So the straight line speed is quick in that Red Bull, but not quick enough to try to get past a Williams who also has DRS from the Aston Martin cars. So this is going to help us catch up a lot more to Ricciardo now. As we have, we're within a second of Ricciardo. I can't speak today. Literally, I'm losing my voice, but yeah, we go around the final corner. Still got the DRS from Ricciardo's car. And he's still not got the move done on Latifi. Meanwhile, behind, Norris is following us through on Giovinazzi, round the outside of turn 1, and he is through. So we need to try and get past Norris's teammate Ricciardo to put another car between ourselves and Norris. And we might go for that same move that we did on Norris, Ricciardo's teammate. As we exit this corner now, we don't get as good as an exit as we did against Norris, so we're not even going to think about the move going into the chicane, as that would be very front wing risky. We just stay on the back of him and look for an opportunity whenever one comes available to us. Oh, and there's a lock-up from Latifi, which slows down Ricciardo even more. We're trying to look round the outside of Ricciardo, but we just haven't got the grip compared to the Red Bull. Well, this Red Bull anyway. And now around the final corner we go. We use ERS and the DRS and the slipstream from Ricciardo, but of course he is trying to use that slipstream as well from Latifi and the DRS. Verstappen's also through on Giovinazzi, so he's going to be chasing up to this pack. But we just can't find a way past Ricciardo down that main straight. We're going to look on the outside of turn 2, but nothing is available there. They're going to try and get the better exit like we did on Ocon. Of course that Red Bull has a lot more speed than the Williams car of Ocon, so we're not even able to think of it. We're going to try again. We're getting the good exit, but we're just even further back this time. Ooh, and we're nearly going to the back of Ricciardo into the chicane as we broke very late. But all of this dirty air is hurting our tyres, and it's hurting Ricciardo's. He's been in dirty air for quite a while now, so his tyres will probably be very hot, and his engine of course. We're going to look around the outside of the second to last corner. We managed to keep it there this time, and we're now on the inside for the final corner. We push Ricciardo a little bit wide to try and get the move completely done, and we have got it done. Meanwhile, one of the Alpines are in for their first pit stop. Ricciardo and Norris are both following us with the DRS. We've got a little bit of a DRS train going on here with the two Red Bulls behind us. We are net P1 when these guys in front of us do decide to make their pit stop. We're looking around the outside again of Latifi, but we cut back in and try and get the better run off this corner like we did on his teammate, but just not enough speed from us. Too far back to go for the move. Ricciardo's kind of dropped back a little bit compared to what I thought he was going to. But now through the chicane, we bump a little bit over the curbs. But let's see if we can get through on Latifi and do what Ricciardo hasn't been able to do for how many laps. As Latifi locks up again into that same corner as he did about 2 laps ago. But Latifi is in, and so is Hamilton. So that's 2 cars out of our way. We've just got Guan Yu Zhou ahead of us as the other Alpine of Alonso comes into the pits too. And then we'll officially be in the race lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. We have DRS though to defend from Ricciardo, luckily. Of course, once Zhou does come into the pits, we're not going to have that that safety of the DRS from any car ahead of us. So it's going to be a lot easier for Ricciardo and Norris and Verstappen to all overtake us. Welcome to the stream, guys. This is round 9 of season 3 in my career mode. We're at Hungary, and we've just came off the mid-season transfers. We moved from Red Bull to Ferrari. Norris replaced us in Red Bull from Williams. Latifi got signed to Williams from being a free agent, and Leclerc got kicked out of Formula 1. So that is what has happened into this weekend. But we're about 9/10 ahead of Ricciardo. We've managed to gain through the corners to get this far ahead of him. So we're safe at least for this lap, as we have the DRS as well to try and pull away from Ricciardo at this point, but we won't have it from now on. But these hard tyres really suiting us and this car, as we get a personal best sector 1 by just under a tenth. We have got to watch that fuel as well, as we have a safety car like we wanted. I don't think that it would be a bad thing if we did get a safety car, as we would be a lot more safer with the fuel. But we know in future races now, even though the power unit is very upgraded and nearly fully upgraded actually, not to underfuel the car as much as we did with the Red Bull in the Honda power unit. But we're a second ahead of Ricciardo. He has got the DRS as he was within that second at the detection zone. But about 16 laps to go in this race. And we've just got to hold it out and try and defend if Ricciardo does mount an attack. But keeping it nicely through the corners. Trying to gain that 1 second before the detection zone on Ricciardo so he doesn't gain too much down the straight. But nearly losing the back end there. That's going to cost us a little bit of time. Not much though. But Ricciardo's still within that DRS. But he isn't close at all. Apparently we've lost some time. I don't think we have. But Bottas is still struggling to get past the AlphaTauri of Gasly. I don't know what it is with the Mercedes and getting stuck behind AlphaTauris, but they can never find a way through for some reason. In real life too, unfortunately. As we bump over that curb in the chicane, which costs us a little bit more time. We go quite wide as well onto the AstroTurf. So maybe these tyres are now starting to get to the warm-up phase. And the proper operating window, well, what would usually be the operating window, but they are in fact overheating, and I can really feel it now. Apparently they're not, but we are getting a lot more understeer than what we were before. Verstappen has got an issue, so he's going to be slower. He might be able to back Gasly into Bottas, but that will also give Gasly the DRS on Verstappen, and that will be 2 Mercedes behind an AlphaTauri. As Giovinazzi's now out, could this be the safety car that we've been wanting? It isn't, but that's a Ferrari power unit that has blown up, I should imagine. I don't think he spun it. No, it's the Ferrari power unit that has blown up. Of course, we are in Ferrari, so that's not good news for us in our first race for them. Maybe something to worry about. But we'll keep that in the back of our minds until anything gets confirmed. But no safety car, not even a VSC. I'd say that's a pretty dangerous spot. In case anyone spins around that corner and into Giovinazzi. Well, in that case, in real life case anyway, it would be a VSC. But Verstappen has dropped his pace a lot, and he is backing up to Gasly. And Bottas and Gasly, I think, are battling. Yeah, they are. Bottas is finally going for an attack on Gasly. But Gasly is fighting back, as you'd expect in that AlphaTauri. I don't think he's kept his position, so Bottas will be the next one to overtake Verstappen. and I'm sure Verstappen would much rather that than Gasly in a much slower car and a completely different team. But they're actually going side by side. Bottas goes down the inside of Verstappen and gets the move done into the third last corner. So we got it over and done with quite quickly. But Ricciardo is a lot closer to us, and Aitken's now out, so both Alfa Romeos are out of the race. I don't know if that's a mechanical fault, as it would be quite unusual for in the same team, and it is. It's the same issue as Giovinazzi, and Schumacher also spins, and that's a crash from Schumacher and Aitken. That's quite dangerous actually, as Schumacher's recovering back on the track. He had his side pod hit into. That could well be a safety car or a VSC, and it is a safety car, so we now get to save our fuel, which is lucky for us. And everyone bunches back up together.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace.
So once again, mayhem in this race. Two Ferrari power units have had the same issue, both going up in smoke, and then it causes a little bit of a crash between Aitken, who's retiring, and Schumacher in the Haas, in another Ferrari powered unit. But yeah, saving that fuel as soon as possible, as we don't want to be too close on the negative. We don't want to run out of fuel on the final lap, or on the final corner, especially with two very quick cars behind us, and the two Mercedes too. They will be right behind us as well. And once Verstappen gets his issue fixed, I'm sure he'll be charging up the field. But our teammate Carlos Sainz, he's actually in P7 right behind Gasly anyway. So Sainz is doing a great job. This could be amazing points for the team in the Constructors. But we lap Schumacher as he is in the pits now. And we catch up to the safety car. And we're finally into the positives on the fuel mix. Yeah. Just a few laps of the safety car now. Schumacher's actually came out ahead of Sainz, our teammate. So that would compromise Sainz on the restart, having a lap car and a much slower car in between himself and Gasly. But yeah, not a lot else to say until this safety car does come in. Which will be next lap, I should imagine. But we'll probably have to wait for Mazepin, as he'd just gone past the safety car as we caught up to it. So he has to do another lap under full racing conditions and try and catch up to the back of the pack, which would take more than I don't know. It'll be close. I think it might be a late call for when the safety car does come in to the pits next lap, but it might just carry on for an extra lap. I will check chat so I can see if there's any conversation start. Hi JDM. Hi Cameron. Hi Raphael as well. Yes, I do remember you, Skippy. Sorry from 38 minutes ago. These comments are quite old. Oh, wow. That's interesting, Cameron. Hi, Ars. Hi, Dark Lissor. And hello, G4 Racing as well. Welcome back to the stream. And yes, I did move to Ferrari. It kind of kicked Leclerc out of F1. And Latifi came back into Formula 1 and went with his old team, Williams. So I'm quite mad about that. Latifi basically replaces Leclerc in Formula 1. The two McLarens are right at the back though, I might add. On the mini-map I can see that, but they are on fresh mediums of course, as they committed themselves to the two-stop quite early on the lap that we pit basically. And they went straight onto the mediums. No, but yeah, hopefully the safety car's in this lap. I don't know where Mazepin is on the circuit. Hopefully he's just about to catch up and it will be a late call, as the safety car would have been called in by now. But it might just be a late call. And it's not going to be. We are going round an extra lap because Mazepin's so slow. And he's only... oh wow. So we're basically going round for another lap for no reason, because Mazepin's just gone through the third to last corner when we were going past the pit lane, and he was quite close to the back of the pack, but still no decision for the safety car to come in, but it should be in this lap, and hopefully we can get racing as quick as possible, as that's what I want to stream for, is the racing, not sitting behind a safety car for too long. Yeah, it's basically going to be a sprint then, when this safety car does come in, as it'll be for about 8 laps to the finish line. We need to get these tyres warmed up a little bit more, as we don't want them too cold, but we don't want them too hot either, as we saw the effects of that early in the race for the soft tyres. But yeah, safety car is in this lap, and we're gonna get ready to go racing. And now we have plus 1.7 of fuel. We went from being 0.6 was it on the negative side, but now we've gone up to 1.8 under that safety car. I forgot to put it back into standard mix, so that's what's caused it. We're controlling the safety car restart, I think, for the first time. I am not entirely sure this season. So much has happened, but we're going to wait for it. We're going to wait and try and catch Ricardo napping. We go for it now, and we kind of do that, but yeah, an average start really compared to Ricardo, but we keep P1 anyway. Which is a crucial thing about the restart. Now it's just about keeping it for the rest of this race, for the 8 laps that we've got to do. And an interesting fact in this race, Schumacher's actually going to get lapped by his teammate Nikita Mazepin. There's a yellow flag. I don't know what that's for. It's probably for Schumacher moving out of the way of the multiple drivers that's behind him, about to lap him. But yeah, I think that Schumacher has been lapped by his teammate Nikita Mazepin, just because of that unfortunate timing of the safety car and letting Mazepin catch up. I don't know if anyone's got damage, if that was a yellow flag because of damage or because of Schumacher moving out of the way. It usually is because of lap cars if they're going so slowly. Oh, and we nearly lose the back end there. Through the second to last corner, but we go and complete the lap. We've kept P1 this whole lap now, but Ricciardo's within 3/10. DRS will be enabled next lap, so he's not able to go for anything really until the lap after that, because of course you only get the DRS from the main straight and then down to here. We go a bit wide though into turn 2, which is not ideal, but we keep P1 anyway. And we get a nice exit off that corner, surprisingly, and a personal best sector 1. So I don't know if that's damage for the underbody or not from going a bit wide. But I'll take it if it is, as I did go quite wide. Oh, and again. But we improve on our lap time anyway, just about.
3.4 seconds.
And the two McLarens have got to start pushing through, but I don't think that they're being able to do that at the moment. One of them is going side by side with the Williams at the moment. But we're nearly a second ahead of Ricciardo now, as we improve through our sector 2. I don't know if we're able to get the fastest lap, but we'll see. But I think it was set on the softs. Should imagine so anyway. We go across the line, we improve by 3/10. Fastest lap is a 15.6. We're only 1/10 off the fastest lap. So we could maybe even go for that and try and get an extra point in this championship. Of course, this would put us ahead of Max Verstappen and lead in the Drivers' Championship anyway, even without the fastest lap. But that would just be a bonus, as every point does count in this championship, with it being so close. So we're going to keep pushing as much as we can, try to improve on our lap times, and get that fastest lap in the bag. As we nearly lose the back end, we're not going to improve if we do that too much. But we are over a second ahead of Ricciardo, so this is an easier end to the race than I thought it would have been.
Condition is still looking good. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
a nice lap so far. We're up by 2.5 tenths. This would bag us the fastest lap if we carry on this momentum through the rest of the lap. Of course, we've only got this sector to go and one more corner. But we go across the line and we get the fastest lap by 2 tenths. We officially have the fastest lap now, and I don't think that anyone else seems to have the pace to try and go for that, unless the two McLarens get some clean air. But yeah, an extra point, which is great in this championship, as I mentioned. Meanwhile, the guys behind staying as close as ever, all within one another's DRS, Ricciardo being the vulnerable one, without any DRS off me, of course. So his teammate could overtake him very soon. His new teammate, of course, but former. But yeah, confirmation there that we are gaining away from Ricciardo each lap by about 3 tenths. Which I didn't expect going into this weekend. Of course, with us being in the Ferrari, a much slower car than the Red Bull and the Mercedes. That rain in qualifying proving crucial, as you do want to start on the front row here at Hungary. It's very difficult to overtake. But yeah, that rain giving us the front row start and showing why it's crucial, as we are now leading the race. And we're actually on the penultimate lap, and I didn't even realise. So the AI drivers usually start pushing and using all of their ERS to try and get the fastest lap now, going on to the final lap. So we might have our fastest lap nabbed away from us by someone. So we're going to go for it. We're on 45% tyre wear on the front left. Our tyres aren't too warm. But we're now in the final sector of the final lap. We're not improving. We're down by a tenth, so it's not by much. I don't think that anyone's going to steal that fastest lap, so we lose the back end once more through the second to last corner. But we're around the final corner then to take our third win of the season and our first for Ferrari. And yeah, what an amazing race, and definitely unexpected position for us.
It's a performance to be proud of today from our Hungarian Grand Prix winners. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Still got the Red Bull helmet on, need to change that.
It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
So then, ourselves for Ferrari in our new team, and Lando in his new team, managing to get up on the podium for our first races in the new teams.
He had excellent race stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks.
And those are your results. No one stole the fastest lap from us, so it's maximum points from our side today. Sainz managed to get up into P7, didn't manage to get past Gasly though. But yeah, we're now first in the championship, and it's completely been turned around, as we was 8 points behind Verstappen going into this weekend, and now he's 8 points behind us. So a very good weekend, I must admit. And the constructors, of course, we've gained away from AlphaTauri. We're closing up to McLaren a little bit more, as we outscored both of them. Both McLarens were outside the top 10, which is very interesting. But at a track like Hungary, they were the only one on the 2-stop, except for Schumacher, of course, who needed to pit for damage. So McLaren's strategy really not working out for them in the way that they wanted it to. Tsunoda only just getting Hamilton on the line by the look of it, as he's about 7 thousandths ahead of him. But yeah, McLaren really didn't work out for them today. We've got 5 different teams in the top 10. Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, AlphaTauri and both Alpines. Both once again together on track and inside the top 10, scoring some good points for Alpine. Well, consistent points. Not really good points, but it's points at the end of the day. And we will advance to the next race. And we are going to do the next race, or qualifying at least. Because it is Belgium. Belgium is usually a crazy one. So we like a bit of crazy race after a race like that, which barely anything happened, but there was a few glimpses of action. We want something to end the stream on a good note, on an exciting note. So we're going to do Belgium. As we get that upgrade through on the power unit, luckily in time for Belgium, which is very good. Of course, it is a power circuit with that long straight.
Okay, we've had the new parts qualification process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
We'll advance to the weekly resources and get those in, so we can look at some upgrades. Aero, it's telling us to go for, as we can't go for anything on the power unit. Too expensive, like most of the stuff in real life. But anyway, oh, and it's looking wet. And we get no weather report because of that situation. But it's wet for practice 1, which we don't do anyway. Dry for practice 2. Practice 3 is a bit wet as well. Qualifying seems to be wet all the way through, and the race is dry and wet. So we'll go to quick practice and get through that as quick as possible. We get through that first race strategy program as quick as we can, as there is no failures, and as we get another one, accepted, another achieved practice program before we end FP1. Any new comments? Nope. Hello to the 3 people in the stream. Thank you for staying with me. Or joining. Or both. And that one fails, so we haven't got enough time to do it again before FP3, but we've only got another 3 programs to do, and then practice should be finished and we can get into our wet qualifying. Oh, and that one fails. And this is the last one now. And it's completed. Done practice quite quickly there. Hence the name Quick Practice. Some good resource points from those sessions. Helps us with our upgrades on the Ferrari car. And the weather forecast still hasn't looked to change for qualifying. It's still looking wet all the way through. Oh, is it even raining? Oh, it is. Yes. I couldn't tell from that camera angle. But yeah, wet all the way through Q1, Q2 and Q3. At the moment it's intermediates. I don't think it's going to get to the full wet, but we're going to have to put our setup on anyway. We're going to look at the race. It's looking like a dry start, so we'll put on our dry setup anyway. I would if it was a wet start. Yeah, it actually goes very sunny about 15 minutes in, and then about 30 minutes in the chance of rain gets higher by 10%. And then 45 minutes in it goes even higher and it's overcast. And then it looks like at the end of the race is when the rain actually starts to happen. So dry setup it is. It's looking like a mostly dry race, but it's a full wet qualifying.
Clear the garage, please. Car ready to leave.
I still forgot to change my helmet. Silly me. The engine Kieran. Of course, if that rain does come at the end of the race, like it says, then people's tyres will be very old, and if it starts to get a bit slippery, maybe see a few collisions with cars and the barriers, or a few spins, which will make the race even more exciting. Go on, Perez, you can go through. Go! Oh my god. I don't get the AI's problem when they do that. Like Giovinazzi just went flying through. Why can't you do that? Oh yeah, we've warmed up the engine now to an optimal temperature. And we're going to start our lap when we get round the bus stop chicane, the final two corners. No DRS of course, as it's in the wet. Oh, and we lose the back end a lot there, and we go spinning. And now up through a rouge. We have to lift off, of course, as it is in the wet. And it would be very suicidal to go up there flat out in the rain. Oh wow, that was a corner cut. I am not going to complete that lap. So we flash back once more. Ricardo sets a 1:49.0, sets the pace. So that's what we've got to try and aim for. Well, and we nearly lose the back end. Kind of forgetting that I've got my dry setup on for Belgium here. So drifting it through Pouon. As now Norris beats him, his own teammate, by about 5/10. So now it's just, it would be flat out. I think we're going to have a little bit of a lift through here, and we do. Not too much though. We don't screw off too much speed, which helps our lap time. So go through the bus stop chicane now. Very tiptoey on the exit. And across the line we go. It's P6. behind Perez and Zhou, which is not good at all for us. So we're going to go again, as usually second runs on the intermediates are overpowered. So it's a bit of a better Eau Rouge. We don't gain too much time, but we've gained a little bit.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Oh, and we lose the back end a lot there. Flashback, sorry for the flashbacks. I know that some people absolutely hate me using flashbacks, but it is what it is. You have to deal with it because they're there for a reason. So I'm going to use them. We gain a lot through Puon, as of course on the last lap we lost the back end through that corner. We're about 3.5 tenths off. We go very wide and oh my god!
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
We nearly rolled the car from understeer. We really understeered through that corner. I was putting full lock on my controller, but it just wasn't going. And it still doesn't, and it makes us spin as we get onto the curb too much. So we've just got to practice around here a little bit, around these corners. We gain a bit more time and we stay off the curb. And that's what the flashbacks to me are about. It's about using them and trying to, you know, improve yourself through the corners. That's how I've managed to improve, is by using the flashbacks. I've used flashbacks a lot in career mode, and it actually does help me improve. As we go now P5, right behind our teammate Sainz. I don't know if it's right behind actually, we will check that.
Carlos is ahead of you. They've entered the pit lane. Their best lap time is a
No, it's not right behind, as Hamilton goes in between myself and Sainz. But yeah, as I was saying with the flashbacks, I use them to improve through corners. If I know that I can take a corner better, I'll use the flashback, and I will try and take that corner better, and in my own time I'd use a lot more of them than what I just did. Yeah, that's just the way that I drive, that's just the way that I get better at the game. So don't get mad at me.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
But maybe we need to add a bit more downforce to our front wing, of course, as we can't add any to the rear wing. Just to try and get a bit more turn into the corners. As Alonso goes P5 now, he usually matches his teammate Perez, who is right behind us. But Alonso is 3 positions ahead of his teammate now. And we're down to P9 as someone else goes quicker. But yeah, adding a bit more wing to the front will probably help us with that understeer, as I don't think it will be tyre warmer. We do know that that's an issue on the Ferrari car. As Verstappen now goes quickest, we're down to P11. Now down to P12. So we're probably going to have to go back out. We don't want to use too many intermediate tyres, as it's wet all the way through qualifying. So if we use too much, then we won't have enough for the other sessions. I'm checking chat. Thank you, Ahmed. Your comments mean so much to me. It's not interesting to play like... Okay. Leave then. Goodbye. You don't need to be in my stream and commenting stuff like that when you can just press off the video or the stream. So don't be a dick. Well, anyways, everyone's set their lap times. We are in P12. We're going to add the front wing. Up to about 7, I'd say. But we're not going to save the setup, as otherwise I'd probably forget to change it at the start of the race. And if I lose subscribers by saying what's on my mind, then so be it. But I am an open-minded person, so I am going to say what's on my mind at the end of the day. Just like that guy did in my chat. So I will do the same. And I will say what's on my mind.
Engine fired. We're set.
Right, better concentrate instead of looking at my phone now. As we've gone out on the same set of intermediates. I did mean to do that, of course, because if we use the other two sets, then we're not going to have enough for Q3. As we've got the AI drivers slowing ahead. I don't know whether to go past. Yeah, we are, because it's Mazepin, and he'll probably slow us down anyway on our lap. Oh, and he nearly brake checks us. Nearly lose our front wing before our lap even started. But yeah, already feeling a lot more grip because we've added that front wing on the front end, of course. I don't actually remember what it was on before. It'll change back anyway. There's a little bit of a gap behind that McLaren, so we're going to let Mazepin through and the McLaren. So we move over for him and slot in between him and our teammate Sainz, who's closing quite quickly, so we're going to let him through. Don't want to hold up our teammate. As we're now going to go through the bus stop chicane and go across the finish line to start our new lap. We're going to go slower in the straights, of course, as we have that more front wing, so it causes more downforce, which of course causes drag. So we're about 2.5 tenths down. But through Sector 2 and Sector 3 is where we'll probably gain it. We're down by 5 tenths now. Oh no! I've realised why. It's because I'm not using ERS. I forgot to turn it back on. That's with that dickhead on my mind. Right. We'll slow down and see if we can go for another lap. I don't know if we will be able to. So it's probably looking like a knockout for us. And see, I'm not using flashbacks now, so just because I didn't put ERS on. We're going to have to let the faster drivers through on their laps, but yeah, it is looking like it's either a knockout or a very close scrape for us. There's only 30 seconds left in the session. I don't think that we'll make it across the finish line. No, we won't.
Hitting this lap then, coming to the
So
pits again.
we're just going to have to take it on the chin, whatever happens. And if not, at least we get to go to the race quicker. Which is of course the best bit of the whole weekend. But it doesn't look like anyone's improving behind us anyway. So we're through. So's Latifi actually, he's just gone up to P14 as Joe goes up into P13, but we are through. We luckily didn't have to go on another lap. So, yeah, we are through. Russell seems to have a lot of pace in that McLaren. He's up in P2, only a tenth and a half behind Max Verstappen in P1. But the knockout is Ocon this time. It was Latifi last time out at Hungary, but it's Ocon in the other Williams, Giovinazzi and Aitken in the Alfa Romeos, and Schumacher and Mazepin, the usual two suspects at the back of the grid. Unless any grid penalties are taken for anyone else ahead of them. Oh, and it did save the setup. So yeah, we are going to go out on track straight away.
All personnel be aware, car leaving.
Ooh, comment. Wonder what that is. Hi, Rally, or Tam Voucher. I don't know, because there's so many accounts that you guys have. I don't know who's who. But hi, welcome to the stream. This time I'll remember to put my ERS on my lap. I'll just see what that says. Hi, Rally. Hope you're having a good day. Did you get an answer from your dad? Are you racing on Saturday or what? Make sure you say please. He might let you. Just preparing for our lap now. Through the final sector now. Gonna let this Alpine through. Just want to take care of our tyres. And we slow down so that we don't catch up with the Alpine of Alonso on our flying lap. We go around the final corner now, a bit of oversteer to start us off, but we cross the line and we're going to start our lap in Q2 and see what this downforce actually does for us. As we didn't get to see that in Q1 because I had no ERS on. I've got it on this time. Ay, ay, ay. Flashback, I am sorry. Not sorry. Oh. Having more front wing than rear wing, it really doesn't go very well. Upper Rouge. Makes you lose the back end a lot more. Oh yeah, through every corner basically. Yeah. Put a question mark. Okay. Hi Scuderia for Congelli. I think I've seen you here before, but welcome anyway, even if you haven't. I'm just gonna do this for rally. And then I'll be back to the track action. Done. Oh my god.
Are you okay?
I'm really struggling with this car in the wet. Ah. Behind Ricardo.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
We're gonna go again, see if we can get more confidence on a second lap on these tyres. Our teammate goes ahead of us. We do a bit of a better Rouge.
We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain.
I know, Jeff. It's meant to go all the way to Q3 if you didn't know. Oh my god. Doing the same as Q1. I'm not even going to say anything about the flashbacks because I've already said my reasons why I use them. But if you get mad, then you know what to do. And if you don't, then it's basically just get out the live stream. This car is very difficult to handle in the wet, especially with only 5 downforce at the rear. It's just meaning that we spin every usual flat out corner. We're about nearly 2/10 off on our lap, which is not bad. Now 3/10, gaining a lot on the exit, and we go just behind our teammate once more. I'm going to check chat now. When are we playing with the others? Good question. I don't know. Probably tonight, because Ryan's coming on, Cameron's coming on. I'm gonna try and get Lennon on. Aidan will no doubt be on as well. JDM and Sam as well. So yeah, we'll try and play tonight. But I am gonna go out for a drive soon. Well, after I've had my tea. And then I'll play after that.
Right, come in at the end of this lap. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
Oh. Bit of understeer onto the curb then, hit the wall. But we're not on a lap, so we're not going to flash back. Or I might just flash back to piss people off. If I feel like it, but I'm not going to, because I'm not that petty. Rally, I'll message you on PlayStation. I'm not going to say a certain time because I don't know. I mean, Aiden's probably on now if you want to go into the party. I'm sure that people will join. But I'm not going to until later. And hi Prangel, by the way, welcome to the stream. I did have a very positive mood at the start of this stream, but it's kind of been ruined by some one idiot who was in the chat.
Car repairs
And
have set us
obviously
back
not
a
got
little.
anything better to do with his life. No, I changed mid-season to Ferrari. As you can see, Norris is in Red Bull now. We've already done Hungary earlier in the stream. Leclerc's been kicked out of F1, and as you can see, Latifi's in Williams, back where he was. He's came back into Formula 1. Upgrades. We're 4th best team, so we're not far off. We won at Hungary, so I mean it's still all good, still looking strong, but obviously not in a straight line. Even though we've nearly got all the upgrades for the power unit, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Hi Daddy Schumann as well. Welcome to the stream. Sorry if I sound a bit down. I've just really lost my motivation now, I'll be honest. But we're gonna go out on track again.
Standing by.
Oh. Thank you. It's no problem, don't worry. Thank you. Means a lot. But you weren't in the stream when I was explaining, but basically I used a couple of flashbacks. Someone went mad at me and says I suck and everything at F1, and Ed was spin. Like, haha, yeah, funny. But I was trying to explain that I use flashbacks to try and improve through certain corners, and they're there for a reason. I just don't get why people go so mad when someone uses a flashback. Like, they're there for a reason. They've put them in the game for a reason. It's to be used. But yeah, that's kind of ruined my mood, as I was in quite a energetic, happy mood at the start of this stream, but that just completely ruined it, and I kind of went mad. And then what usually happens when I go mad is I'm upset afterwards. So yeah, I might just finish off the stream when I finish quali. I might not do Belgium in today's stream, as yeah, I'm not in the mood anymore. Just because of one prick. But anyway, we're gonna get on with it and try and do our lap. don't know what's happening in chat. I'll check after. Oh man. I'll check now. Then. Wow, rally. Thanks, Daddy Schumann. And yeah, I mean, they have to be used when they have to be used. So, you know, it doesn't matter if it's in a straight line or, you know, even through corners or when you've crashed or something. You know, they're there for a reason, so I'm personally not one to go mad at people for using flashbacks, because I use flashbacks myself, and that's how I improved at F1, is using flashbacks to get better at certain corners like that I mess up at. And as you can see, I'm messing up at a lot of corners in this quali session, and I've had to use flashbacks quite a lot throughout the whole of quali. And yeah, it's like that. I know that I can do better than that, and if I don't flashback, then I get disappointed in myself. So I'm gonna continue to use my flashbacks, but it's kind of pissed me off anyway, what that guy was saying. We're about 1/10.5 off. I don't know if it's going to get us through into Q3, but we'll see. But thank you guys for your support, by the way. It does mean a lot. And we're just about through into Q3 actually. So another difficult session ahead. Oh wow. Fair enough, Rom. And yeah, I hated those days when there was only 4 flashbacks. But both of us Ferraris are just about through actually. We just about knock Hamilton out. But once again, the same 5 teams are in the top 10 shootout, and the same drivers are knocked out in Q2. So yeah, well, not the same drivers, but the same teams. That is definitely satisfying actually. I find that really satisfying. Since mid-season, Rom, I've kind of kicked Leclerc out of F1. And Norris went from Williams to Red Bull, so he's teammates with Ricciardo. And then Latifi came back in Formula 1 and gone to Williams. So basically Leclerc got replaced by Latifi in Formula 1 as a whole, which I'm very mad about as well.
Checks complete. All personnel be aware we have a
I wanted to keep the consistency with changing teams every mid-season, and I've managed to do that 3 seasons in a row. At the end of the season I'll probably move teams again, just to try and get the driver transfers up and going really. But yeah, this one was one of the least boring, the most boring ones I should say. There's not a lot happened, except for obviously Norris and Leclerc. I'm not really excited about Latifi coming back in F1, not gonna lie, especially replacing Leclerc. But we've done a good job already in Leclerc's seat, because we already won at Hungary, our first race for Ferrari, somehow. We had a really lucky qualifying as it was starting to rain, and we were one of the first out on track. I think we were the 3rd one to cross the line and set a lap. And we managed P2, and then in the race we just managed to keep it, and we won. No, but yeah, I was saying earlier, this is already the... fly by my mouth. Ugh. Anyway, as I was saying, I said earlier, this is already the 10th stream of this career mode. We've gone from the end of Season 2, and we're 2 races past mid-season in Season 3, so we've had a lot of support on the streams as well. So I'm really thankful for that, and you guys are all amazing. The amount of support that you all give me, yeah, it's unbelievable. Oh, and that was a much better rouge than I've took it this whole quali session. Oh, and that curve once again getting us.
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
It's through that corner in the wet, I just still can't get it right. So we're going to try again. So Bottas sets the pace, 48.1. We've got nowhere near that all of this quali session. We do a 1:49.5, and we're slowest of all the drivers that have set a lap time, but we can improve. We're already showing that. Not anymore, but we were. I can go a bit faster maybe. A few places on this circuit. Nearly losing the back end up there, but gaining time. So maybe we just need a bit more confidence throughout the lap, and we can maybe gain a bit more.
This rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
You don't say, Jeff. Oh, yep. There we go. Fuck. Verstappen now sets the fastest lap by about a tenth. We're going wide at every corner possible. As we get distracted by it. But gaining a bit through there, we're only about a tenth up. We've only got this set of tyres anyway. We're going to complete the lap, but we've not improved by much, just under half a tenth, and we're still P10, so Frustrating. Really frustrating. All of the guys are already out on their laps, but we have enough time anyway to go back out. If I buy the F1 game and I drive the car, does that make me a pay driver? Not in the sense of Stroll or Mazepin. In the sense that you pay to drive. And thank you, Daddy Schumann. Really means a lot. Yeah, I don't think that we're going to have 2 attempts at a lap. So we've only got the 1. But remember, these are a scrub set of intermediates. So it's, yeah, it's going to be a lot better. We'll get a lot more grip, as usually the more laps that you do on intermediates, the quicker you get. As long as it's not like 50 laps. What, plus like 10. Whoa. Caught the curb a bit too much on my outlap there. Didn't want to have to flash back on my outlap. I don't think that we're going to get any higher than 8th. That's my target, 8th. Oh, I've done it again. With my ERS. For God's sake. That's proper annoying, that. Because I've done that in Q1 as well. Nicer up a Rouge. Gaining a bit of time, but obviously losing some because we're using their ERS. I've never ever made that mistake before. Not until today.
Just 30 seconds left in the session.
Oh, and we've done it again, nearly. Yep, we have done it again. Nice 360 though. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't even turn in properly, and then that's causing me to go on the grass, and on the... I mean, on the... what's it called? The curb, and that's making me spin. Oh man, it's a fucking corner. Jeez. I'm so sorry, I'm so stressed and it's making me swear. I don't usually swear on the stream, but this is really annoying me and I'm not in a good mood, so we're up by 2/10 anyway. Up by about 2/10 and we stay P10.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but
That's where the
before we
pace
begin,
of the car
let's have a
seems
quick
to be
look at
anyway,
those who will
and
be
it's a
fronting the
surprise
grid.
front row
Verstappen, Russell,
for
and
George
Valtteri
Russell.
Bottas. With qualifying
He's
complete,
quite close to
all
Max
that remains is the
Verstappen,
main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow.
but we
So
haven't
make
seen
sure you
Russell on
join
the
us
front
then.
row in quite a while in that McLaren, as it's been losing pace compared to the rest of the cars and teams. I will be back in a sec. I'm just going to check how long my food will be. I'm back. I don't know whether it's worth starting the race or not, because it's like 15 or 20 minutes until I go and have food. Check if anything's happened in chat. Well, I can rally, it seems to have happened.
Tough luck there. It's not
Unfortunately.
quite where we want to be on the grid.
No, but there's a weather
Chin up,
forecast, the
not the end of the
first
world.
one of the whole weekend that we've actually got, because he didn't send it us through. But pre-race, it's rained right at the end. So, with old tyres, could maybe spice a few things up. But other than that, it's just looks to be a plain race unless anything happens. But we'll go to it anyway. I will have to pause like halfway through though, to go for some food.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here
Oh wow.
today. But I'm curious,
Alfa
as a man with
Romeo have got
experience out
a
on the
new
track,
livery
how do you stop
for
those
this weekend
pre-race
in
nerves
Baku.
from becoming overwhelming
Wonder what
when
that's
you're
for.
lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate.
Yeah, why would they
turn
do that in
one.
Baku?
It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes
Oh.
you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure
It's
that
just
all
got
the
green at the
procedures are
back now.
second nature to
It's
you,
the
so
Italian
they're not
flag
taking up too much of your
that's over the
capacity.
car.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, and Tsunoda, Gasly, Stroll, Sainz, and Edwards, Hamilton, Perez, Fernando Alonso, and Latifi, Joe, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Jack Aitken, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Right, so we're not going to underfuel by as much this time. We're going to go about 0.3 laps under. As after the pit stop in Hungary, we managed to... although we'll go up a bit more just to be... Oh, that's not under fueling. Hold on. We'll go up to there. 21.8 laps of fuel. 0.2 laps under. And we'll change our downforce back to... Let me check what it is. Hold on. Because I don't remember what it was before. I'm just checking the stream back, just to see what I changed it to. Or what I changed it from, actually. Right, 3. Okay, got it. Right, we'll get on with the race now. Sainz already comes over to cover us off for some reason. Very aggressive from our teammate. But into turn 1, it's 3 wide between ourselves, Sainz and Stroll. We're side by side with Stroll actually. We're going to go side by side, not through a Rouge though. That would be very risky. But ahead, the McLaren and the other AlphaTauri of Gasly are going side by side, and Gasly wins that battle at the moment. Meanwhile, Stroll's going for the move on our teammate, and so are we. We're going to send it down the inside, and he goes to turn in quite early there. Even though he was left quite enough space. But both of us get Sainz, and Stroll's got that straight line speed to stay ahead of us. So he's back up into P8. Meanwhile, Tsunoda and Gasly, the two former teammates, are still going side by side after that Rouge moment. And now through I was kind of concentrating on ahead of us. Sainz seems to have damage, so he's holding up the rest of the pack. I was concentrating on the Gasly and Tsunoda battle, so I caught that curb. I don't ever usually do that. But Stroll's maybe looking for a move on his teammate. He tries to the outside, but Gasly covers that off. But yeah, Sainz with the damage, holding back the rest of the field, and he's going to have to pit at the end of this lap. Sainz is still holding them behind. Oh, and there's a crash at the last corner. Well, at the bus stop. Sainz is finally into the pits now. And there's been a little bit of a crash, I think. Or it was just how slow they were going into the bus stop chicane. But we're definitely going to be losing out in a straight line. This Ferrari isn't powerful enough, even though it's nearly fully upgraded in the power unit side. We just have to put up with it. Hopefully we can get more upgrades before Italy, which is the next race. Oh, we've taken damage to the side pods, that's probably why. But we've got that for the whole race long now, so we've got to watch our engine temps, as they are going to go sky high, even with the slightest of side pod damage. That's not going to help our fuel, of course. As the engine gets hotter, that means it uses more fuel.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Don't want to use ERS for a Rouge, that would be asking for a death wish. Oh yeah, where we can do our most work is through the corners. That's the only place where we stand a chance. Whoops. Oh my god. That bloody corner. It's really pissing me off today. We really need the cars ahead to start battling through a lot of corners for us to even get close to Stroll. Otherwise it's looking like a pretty boring, lonely race. I'm gonna check chat since yeah, Sam, I think I'm going out for a drive after I'm done, so I will after my drive, I'll let you know when. And also hi, I think that was it Spencer? Yes, hi Spencer, welcome to the stream. We're a bit what's it called, downhearted today. We wasn't at the start of the stream, but yeah. I can't be bothered to explain it all again.
Car in front is
I'll be honest.
7 seconds.
No, but good news though. We are in the positive of our fuel. Somehow. But we're using most of our ERS down the straights because that's our only way of maintaining the gap down the straights, is using our ERS. Yeah, this is the least chaotic Belgian race that I've ever done in career mode. The most boring one.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
Not a lot to say really.
The gap to the car ahead is 1.9 seconds.
Perez and Hamilton are battling. That's something to keep an eye on. Especially if one of them pit. That means that they would have hit each other. Down to that curb again. I don't think we've got damage though from it. Of course we got that side pod damage, but that's from like the start of the race.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now. Right, some information on Hamilton. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Who? Who was that? Can you guys say who that was? Because I didn't look at the subtitles, I didn't realise it was still speaking. Hamilton? Oh god. He's right behind, he's behind us. Thank you, by the way, for telling me. Still managing to keep Perez behind though. But probably for not much longer. Yeah, there you go. There goes Perez. And now Hamilton's trying to do an Alonso job to Alonso and keep him behind. Usually it's the other way around.
Our gap to the car
Okay.
in front is 3.
Yeah, I've got to go for some food now. Gotta go for some food now. I'm gonna do the same as what I did the other day. I'm just gonna leave it paused, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes or something. So make sure to check back in around 10 minutes. And we'll carry on with the rest of this race. Hopefully it gets a lot less boring than this. Hopefully I can regain some of my energy after I've ate. So I'll see you guys in a bit. back if anyone's there. Yeah, we've got 2 people. Hello.
0 seconds.
We're going to finish off this race, and then I am going to go. There's Gazzy's coming to the pits as we drift it round the bus stop chicane. So Gazzy going for an early stop.
This lap. Give us the best in lap
We're going to go a lap later. Gazzy's gone onto the hard tyres, and that could really affect him and his performance in this race, as the hard tyres aren't the best tyres around this track.
No need to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good. Okay, gap ahead is 3.2 seconds.
So coming to the pits now for our only pit stop of this race.
Go now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
We might get DRS off Joe. We stayed within the 1 second of him, so we're going to get the DRS down the Kemmel straight. We use a slipstream and ERS. We're still not gaining by too much on the Aston Martin. That's how bad we are in a straight line, I guess. As we're gaining now with the slipstream and ERS on Joe. We're going to send it down the inside of the bus stop chicane. He's probably coming into the pits anyway, which he doesn't. Oh, he does now. But we're through anyway. We've got the DRS from him, and yeah, back up into P9. Sainz is in the pits. Of course, he had to pit on lap 1, so he's gone into the pits once more.
Gap to car in front is 4.1 seconds.
yeah, not a lot happening in this race. Quite boring, I must admit myself. Usually a lot more does happen here at Belgium. Obviously not today. But a notable thing up front, not that it's massive, but Verstappen has managed to get ahead of one of the Red Bulls. Well, he's ahead of both of them, but before there was a Red Bull in front of him, but he's managed to get ahead of that Red Bull, whoever that is. Yeah, it's obvious that it's all about engine power in this race, but we just haven't got that. I'm going to have to accept the P9 and the points advantage that Verstappen's going to gain over us. Not a lot to say really, once more.
Gap to teammate behind is 27.7 seconds.
There's nothing's going on. Literally nothing. I don't even think that there's one overtake going on right now. Hold on a sec. back.
Gap to the car ahead is 5.0 seconds. We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
So that rain could be the only thing that changes this race. In around 10 to 15 minutes, but there's not a lot of laps left if you think about it. Don't know if we're going to get to lap 21 and it starts raining, or it'd be on the final lap. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen at all, actually. Because nothing's happened in this race. I'm quite disappointed with it. Because it's Belgium and usually a lot of stuff happens in Belgium. Obviously not today, as everything doesn't seem to want to make me feel any better.
Gap to the car in front is 4.9 seconds.
Not even a safety car in this race. Oh wait, no, there hasn't been. See, those four cars, the Mercedes, the two Red Bulls and Sonoda, are very close together, but nothing's happening between all of them.
We're leading our teammate by 33.7 seconds.
They're not even battling, which isn't helping us. Because if they was battling, they might be able to back each other into Gasly, who backed himself into Stroll, and then to us. But that's not happening. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Gap ahead is 5.0.
Check chat since it's the first thing to happen. Hi Jack, welcome to the stream. I'm not gonna lie, it is going quite boring. While nothing's happening, then you may want to go and check the Hungary race that I did earlier in this same stream. It's probably a bit more entertaining than this. There's literally nothing's happened. We've had no safety car. Only signs on lap 1 getting damaged.
Managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
And that was it. And of course the pit stops, but it's not changed anything around. Ah, yay. Starting to lose a bit of tyre grip now, as you can probably tell.
Gap to car in front is 5.6 seconds. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Nearly falling asleep. This race is so boring. Now how you guys feel.
Rain is forecast.
Oh,
in
yep.
just over 10
Oh
minutes.
my
Are you okay?
god.
That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
I got completely distracted, looked at the subtitles, and then bang. Into the wall we go.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety
No, there
car right
hasn't.
now. Just be careful. Gap to teammate behind is 37.7 seconds.
I thought that Monaco was the boring race. Oh, hello. Tsunoda ahead of us. He's out though. About time. He gets an engine failure. So something's happened. But it's not a crash or nothing, and I don't think it's going to cause a safety car. But we gain an extra position. But yeah, as I was saying, I didn't think that Monaco could get that any other race could get as boring as Monaco. But yeah, turns out the Belgian Grand Prix is the one. But they've already cleared off his car, so I mean, no way that's going to be a safety car or a VSC. I don't know when that rain's going to turn off. But like I said, probably last lap or never. And Jeff's apparently not responding to us, and we've got the MFD glitch where it's just stuck. So let's see if we can get rid of that, because I don't want to have that there for the whole race. We've got rid of it. And again, not working. So our MFD is broke. We can't even ask about the weather. Oh, it's not got rid of it this time. Oh no. Don't. Please. Thank God for that. See, flashbacks are useful. In many different ways. Oh, nearly losing the back end through those corners. We'll be doing that. is literally making me go to sleep. I'm closing my eyes down the straight. Jesus, it's so boring. I'm struggling. The rain hasn't turned up, but we're on the penultimate lap, luckily, about to go on to the last lap, so I can get out of this absolute nightmare of a race. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow, guys. Depends how I feel. But I have got a league to commentate on, which is my league, for tier 2. It won't be on this channel though, the stream. It'll be on the actual league's channel. If you want to go and subscribe and keep up with that, then it's called Rapid Racing League, PS4. I should really add the /PS5 to it, but I haven't done that yet. But it's the one with the white background, well, grey and white background, purple and pink writing, and it says Season 3. That is also around Belgium, actually. Hopefully it's not as boring as this career mode race. But Verstappen wins. I think that the top 3 have stayed the same, to be honest. Maybe even the whole of the top 5. So that's how boring this race has been. The rain didn't turn up, it's still sunny as fuck. But yeah, across the line for P8, you lose points to Verstappen and the championship lead. And apparently it's not going to the podium. So the game's breaking now, apparently. As we had the MFD glitch. And now we've got the... Oh, there we go. About time. Get me out of Belgium. What a boring race. But yeah, the only positions that were changed in the top 5 were the 2 Red Bulls.
Let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say Esteban Ocon. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his
And there's
tyres.
the championship, 14 points
Let's
behind.
move on to the constructors.
We were 8
Mercedes
points ahead
continue
going
to
into this
extend their
weekend,
lead.
but
Meanwhile, good work
yeah,
from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed
we don't have
themselves
the
further up
straight
the
line
order.
speed.
I'm equal parts exhausted and
I'll be
elated with
completely
this
honest,
weekend of
we need to
Formula
get
One.
more
Be
upgrades
sure to
in
join
for
us
Italy,
for
but
the next one.
I doubt that we'll be able to, since it's literally next race, but we're not going to stream that. was already debating whether to stream Belgium, but we went ahead with it, and like, it was the worst decision of my life. No, we're only getting one power upgrade for this. But we can upgrade up here, of course. And if we rush it, it's got a 35% failure chance. I mean, it's worth a try. We won't need it for Singapore. You know, after Italy, it's basically useless. So we're going to try and get it in for Italy. If not, then it doesn't really matter. The first upgrade comes through. Aero upgrade comes through, and now it's the big... is this one? Nope, of course it's not, because everything's not going our way in this episode or stream, and of course it wouldn't do that. We haven't got enough resource points to repurchase it, so... yeah. Aston Martin have also gone above us in the R&D graph, so we'll advance to Italy, but we're not going to do anything. Yeah. No, I can't. I can't play rally because I'm going out for a drive. Maybe later, if you're still on. But anyway, into Italy. It's going to be completely dry, and we've got an update. This is actually our first regulation change, and when there's a warning of it or rumour, then it you know, it's definitely going to happen. That could change the order around a little bit, but look at Aston Martin, the leap that they've made from just about below us to up. But Belgium has ruined our top 5 finishing streak. As you can see, we've had consistency until Belgium. It's now a top 10 finishing streak that we've got. But yeah, into Italy, we'll look at the powertrain, see where we are. We're 5th in the powertrain. All the Mercedes power seems to be the quickest. So yeah, I'm gonna chat for the final time. Bye rally. Thanks for joining everyone, thanks for staying with me. I know it's been a boring one. I know it's not been a... You know, except for the start, it's not been a really energetic stream. But you guys have still stayed with me and joined, so... Thank you once again. And like I said, I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow. But make sure you subscribe, put notifications on. And then you won't miss the next stream. But until then, whenever that may be, I'll see you